creating personalized and multi-channel lead gen that is aligned to the buyer, working with sales teams is no small task. So what have you found to be some of the best ways to approach this without experiencing the feeling of overwhelm, frustration, and the need to try everything? Maybe starting with you, Marina.
I think it's making sure, as the guy said, planning up front, being really, really clear about what your agenda for a particular quarter is, splitting that into long-term goals versus short-term goals, being really, really clear about the fact that, you know, the sales team will be very obsessed about what they've got to close in the quarter. So understanding what role marketing can play in that and being very, very clear up front so that there's no last minute panics as there can be, whilst also making sure that people are aware of what's coming down the line in terms of supporting top of the funnel and creating opportunities. So for me, it's about really sitting down with the appropriate stakeholder groups, making sure people don't go off piste, understanding how much time and resource needs to be put into short-term wins and support on closing, which marketing can get involved in, and we often do, versus some of the longer term planning pieces.
It's definitely about communication, and as I said, my regional marketing managers meet with the sales regional managers on a weekly basis. They spend a lot of time making sure that they understand what's going on in the field with some of the key salespeople and the sales engineers. And the other piece that we do, and I guess this depends on your definition of attribution, to Chris's point about measuring attribution. So we celebrate wins together, but we do actually try to attribute everything that we do. So as to which campaigns, which methods, which events have provided us with a return. We are on a long sales cycle, so we don't expect something to happen, next week because an event that happened today. So it is about being able to stay and measure that over a long period of time, and then basically at the end of a year, and it's slightly ongoing, if you know what I mean, but at the end of the year, we look and say, well, actually, this event worked really well for us, or this particular piece of video, or whatever it is that it is, with the number of click-throughs, everything we can do that we can measure is measured. And it provides an indicator. It's not an absolute, it's an indicator of effectiveness. And part of that indicator of effectiveness is how much engagement with the sales team has happened, and vice versa.
In addition to what's already been said, I think, we've all alluded to it, but Guy called it out earlier with regards to agility. I think agility is really important. I think gone are the times when you can just let things take their natural course. I think we have to be very decisive. We have to make decisions quickly. And if a certain route to market or a certain outlet isn't working for us, content isn't working, or if something isn't working, then you need to move quickly to change that. And I think also, the old saying of fortune favouring the brave, I'm very much a big fan of trying new things, trying different things, stuff that's maybe early to market, to try and be a little bit different. But also, we're working with an organisation at the moment who specialises in alternatives. So whilst we're planning all of the digital marketing, we're planning all of the content marketing, we're also looking at some of the old traditional stuff where maybe we're actually thinking about physically sending things out to people that are a little bit different, a little bit standout. But again, it all comes back to the planning. Without the right planning in place, without the right agility in place, we are unfortunately always going to get what we've always gotten. So we've got to move quickly, we've got to change, we've got to adapt, and I think that's going to be key to marketing success from here on in.
The big thing for me is kind of understanding that not every channel will work for you. So even the biggest companies in the world, that with the biggest budgets in the world, don't do every single channel and don't do every single channel well. So it's understanding that actually, like we talked about in terms of clarity and prioritization of content, the same thing applies to channels for me. So we're doing a lot at the moment of testing LinkedIn, testing Google PPC, testing Capterra, which is an interesting one for us, and testing Facebook, whatever it might be. But understanding that after that, we won't do all of them. there's a good chance that some of them will say, actually, for our audience, it's not working as well, and it's kind of prioritizing those channels. And you only do that, as Mark said, by testing stuff, being brave, trying new channels when they come out, but understanding that there's only so much time, there's only so much money available to any company, and you're much better off kind of really working on the channels that you have proven work for you, and then able to sort of turn the tap up on and say, well, actually, if we double investment there, we're pretty confident that we'll get double the result back, versus just chucking another channel in because it feels like the right thing to do. Because everyone else is doing it. I think actually we quite like the idea of not being where all our competitors are, maybe trying something a little bit different. And I love Mark's point about kind of trying old traditional channels like direct mail. It's definitely something we've done a little bit of recently. So we make brew our own beer called Idea Beer. And we've been sending kind of those out to certain prospects, packaged up with a nice personalized written note, and had a really positive response because, again, it's different. People aren't expecting to receive that, and it gives you an excuse for having an interesting conversation and having kind of that icebreaker, which is ultimately what we're all after, isn't it, from that top of the funnel stuff.